My peoples, get ready for a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Yeah, we coming through, y'all. Coming in hot. Stay tuned, my peoples. What's the deal, Agent 17? Yeah, I seen it, man. Miss weight, that's crazy. We gotta talk about that. Gotta talk about that. Side, you're not supposed to say it before me, bro. I'm supposed to be the first one to say, bro, how you move up in weight and miss making weight? Damn, Young Guns, I missed that, bro. I'm gonna have to see the replay. My peoples, we about to kick this off, y'all. Y'all better be ready for this smoke. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0 if you haven't done so. Yeah, stay with me, my peoples. We about to kick this thing off. And y'all know Saturday mornings, we cooking. My peoples, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we about to do, man. We talking boxing. First of all, man, let me give a shout out to everybody who's already in the building. Salute my boy Sai, Toy Mafia, Daniel Negron, Sai in the building. Age of 17. What's the deal, brother? Yeah, Young Guns. My peoples, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what's going on. We got some real good fights coming up tonight, and of course, we had to have an episode of Boxing for Breakfast to discuss this great action that's coming up. Age of 17, yes sir, Jay Smith. We got an action-packed night, man. Got some good fights, my peoples. But listen. We all kick this thing off, and I want to talk about a fight that we have not really talked about at all. Started off that way, my peoples. Okay, this little opening monologue and whatnot for you guys. I want to kick it off with Frank the Ghost Martin, because as you guys know, he's experienced some inactivity, right? And after losing to Tank Davis, well, he's gonna be back tonight, and I'm surprised to see him on the prelims. Like, golly, on the prelims, the Ghost Martin. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. He took an L. You guys know boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport, and sometimes when you take an L, you take a dip like that. I expect him to win this fight. Honestly, I don't know his opponent like that. See some highlights here and there. Okay, the guy can fight, but I believe Frank the Ghost Martin is going to win this fight. You're going to make your picks, my peoples. Y'all know Jay Smith. Y'all know how I get it. So, that's the Jay Stradamus pick right there. Frank the Ghost Martin is going to win this fight. But, he's on the prelims. I wish he would have been on the main card. We're going to see him on the main card again. I believe Frank the Ghost Martin is a fighter who can become a world champion, who has the skills and the talent to become a world champion, in my opinion. I don't think taking a loss to Tank Davis. We've seen multiple fighters take an L to Tank Davis. Mario Barrios and Pitbull Cruz became world champions after losing to Tank Davis. And I believe Frank the Ghost Martin is one of those guys who can accomplish that feat as well. Which, that raises Tank Davis' resume. If he beat you and then you become a world champion, that says, whoa, look at the type of guy that he beat. So that also says something about Tank beating you. So there you have it, my peoples. My Jay Stradamus prediction: Frank the Ghost Martin is going to win tonight. Now, moving on to the next fight, my peoples. Cool Boy versus O'Shaquie. O'Shaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton. My peoples, what's going on over here? How you telling me Steph Fulton moved up and didn't make weight? Come on, bro. 2 pounds. Well, they're gonna proceed with the fight. He's not gonna be able to retain the title, but O'Shaquie can win it. To my understanding, I think that's the way it's gonna work out, right? But that's no good, man. No good, papi. No good, no bueno. You don't make weight. Championship fight. Come on, bro. No good. But I say this is gonna be a good fight. Let's see, man, because sometimes O'Shaquie, he does like to bang. And he got a guy who showed up with a 2-pound advantage. You guys saw what happened with Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia had 3 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Stephen Fulton got 2 pounds on him. So I don't know if that's going to play into the fight, because we're going to see them trading leather. They're going to box. They're going to move around. Both guys have good footwork. I would say more so Stephen Fulton. But O'Shaquie Foster got good footwork. He could move. So I don't think they're just going to stand in there, rock 'em, sock 'em robot. These guys got skills. But ultimately, I do see it turning into a fight, at least in spurts, where they're gonna trade leather. Because you know O'Shaki like to apply that pressure. He'll move, but you're gonna see him applying that pressure. And Stephen Fortnite's a counter puncher. You're gonna see him letting the hands fly too. So I expect this to be a competitive showdown. It's gonna be a good one. They're gonna go back and forth, my peoples. And y'all tell me y'all prediction for this fight, because I'm not even giving it to you right now. My prediction for this fight is gonna be on Box Center 2.0 later today. Hold on. So if you ain't subscribed to Box Center 2.0, it's right there. It's right there on the link. But this is gonna be a good fight, my people. So you see the first fight, we got Frank the Ghost Martin making his comeback. I already told you he's walking out of there with the dub. And then right there, we got this one. So you see we got fireworks in that one, which is gonna be in the prelims, and then in this one. Moving on to the next fight, my peoples. Let's move on to the next one. Damn, man, how you don't make weight? Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach. Whoa, my peoples. My peoples. Side, I got O'Shaki against Schoolboy. Oh, okay, I see. Young Guns, Bozianis, fighters on a roll. Boost, Catterall, Cruz, and Fulton. Man, Bozianis is trying to get that Trainer of the Year joint. That's what he trying to do. Sean Johnson, hey champ, good morning, boss. Love your channel. What do you think of Frank Martin fight? So, first of all, I want to say salute my brother, and I appreciate the compliment. I was just talking about Frank the Ghost Martin and making his comeback, and I said it before, and I'll repeat it for you. Frank is one of those fighters who has the skills and the talent to become a world champion. This new generation of social media boxing fans, oftentimes you take a loss and you're done, you cook, you washed up, all of this other stuff, right? But we've seen with Tank Davis specifically, I could point out a Pitbull Cruz who lost to Tank and then became a world champion, and then Mario Barrios lost to Tank, and he's the WBC champion right now. So losing doesn't mean that you're done. And I think Frank Martin is one of those fighters who he's skilled like that. He got it like that. Young Guns, Roach didn't look that much taller than Pitbull. Nah, he's not a lot taller. He's really not, a giant over him. It's just them skills. He's going to outbox him. He's going to beat Pitbull more convincingly than Tank Davis. I'll put it to you like that. That's his mindset going in. Like, yeah, Tank beat him, I'm going to whoop his ass. And we have to understand, Pitbull's a guy who can fight. Pitbull's a guy who can fight. You got to respect him. And look what he's accomplished. But Lamont Roach is going to do him in, bro. Lamont Roach is going to do him in. You could take that to the bank to get some pounds. And let me say this. I'm not saying Lamont Roach is just going to wash Pitbull, right? Nobody's just going to wash him. It's going to be a interesting fight. It's going to be a competitive fight. Pitbull's going to have his moments. But ultimately, the skills of Lamont Roach, that's going to make a difference. That boxing IQ, that footwork, Lamont Roach is not the fighter that you're going to beat with that style, that you're just going to come forward and throw a lot of punches. You're not beating him like that. He's too technical. From point blank range, he's going to be able to outbox Pitbull from the outside and from the inside. The way that Pitbull's going to have his moments is when he's able to let the hands fly and put Lamar Roach on the back foot, blocking and moving, and catch him with some shots. Because, Pitbull, he's going to throw 3, 4, 5 punches if he got you on the ropes. So Lamar Roach, part of his strategy is going to be to not be, in the ropes. He's gonna move, but you see that he can fight you on the inside. He doesn't have to run away and be doing circles around the ring while you chase him around. Young Guns, you talking Roach, dang. I'm taking Pitbull, but I'm 0-3 picking against you. I gotta change, bro. Listen, if you're taking Pitbull, you're about to take a L. Lamar Roach is gonna do him in, bro. If you don't change your mind, you're about to be 0-4. 0-4, bro. Don't take that. Don't take this L, bro. And I've got mad respect for Pitbull Cruz. But Lamar Roach is different, family. Lamar Roach is gonna put all type of hands on him. You're gonna see. Here's the deal. Lamar Roach is been that nice. We just wasn't paying attention to him until Tank Davis came up. Until that fight. But he been that nice. So people thinking that's a one-hit wonder. Because that's the thing. When you put the focus on, well, Tank Davis wasn't the same, Tank Davis wasn't focused. When that's your focus, you're taken away from how good Lamar Roach actually is. So now, for those people, he's going to show them. It's not going to be one of those, they robbed them or they gave it to him. It's going to be a convincing win. Daniel Negron, I never saw Pitbull Cruz get washed in any fight. But you never know. No, I'm not saying he's going to get washed. But I am saying he's going to get outboxed and it's going to be convincing. It's not going to be anything to suggest. Because look at Canelo. He didn't get washed, but he got beat up. But he didn't get washed. So I say it's going to be something similar to that where Pitbull is going to be competitive, but there's just going to be moments where he's going to be getting picked apart. Punches to the dome piece, to the mouthpiece, the nose, the wig piece, all over. Lamar Roach put together them combinations like that. I'm just telling you what I see based on the skill set. You guys know styles make fights. Lamar Roach, think about who beat him. Who beat Lamar Roach on Laced? Salute, my brother. Bam. Who beat Lamar Roach? Jamel Herring. By the way, the same Jamel Herring that Shakur Stevenson stopped. Beat him up. Beat him up. But Jamel Herring is the only guy to beat Lamar Roach. And what's his style? A technical fighter who can box and got pop. But it's the skills. Sean Johnson. Hey, champ. You think Jesus Ramos stops Shane Mosley Jr.? Just don't see how Mosley wins. Jesus comes at you with razor blades and lemon juice. Damn. Look, man, that's a fight with Jesus Ramos style that it could be real problematic. But I gotta say, man, Shane Mosley Jr. has had some performances where I've seen some like shades of his pops. Like, oh shit. Where he's done little things here and there that I think if he puts it all together, he could be really, really good. It's just that he just doesn't seem to be consistent enough. But I've seen little things that I'm like, oh, damn. What's good with that combination, son? So, I think Shane Mosley Jr. can surprise us. But golly, you're going to have to take some serious punishment via that surprise if he want to give it to us. That's for sure. My peoples, my peoples, make your predictions for this fight. Do you got Lamar Roach walking out of there with the W? Age of 17. Shackle hands in the building. Bam. Make your predictions, my people. Who is going to win tonight? Pitbull Cruz, Lamar Roach. I already told you Lamar Roach was gonna win. Make your own prediction. You wanna go against Jay Stradamus and take and absorb this L? Have at it. Sean Johnson, Lamar by decision. There you go. Sean Johnson know what's going on. Salute, bam. You know what to do. Yeah, my people, don't be scared now. Make that, put it right there. That's your receipt. Don't be scared. And I'm gonna say this right now. This fight right here is gonna turn into a slugfest. They're gonna box. Both of these guys can box. But O'Shaquie's gonna start applying that pressure. Cool Boy's gonna start responding. It's gonna turn into one of those. Yo, Sean Johnson, who you got for this fight? Who you got winning this fight? And that goes for everybody. Who y'all think wins this one? I'm gonna say, man, it's a good one. O'Shaquie Foster versus Cool Boy Steph. And by the way, Cool Boy showed up 2 pounds overweight. Did he do that on purpose? Or he just couldn't make weight? I don't know. I don't know how that... Was that part of the strategy? Corey B. Pitbull with the upset. Corey B. You want to take another L against Jay Smith? Against Jay Stradamus? You want to do that to yourself? How about it, man? I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna stop you. At this point, I feel like somebody I just like to take these L's. That's it. I gotta accept it. Daniel Negron, I got Pitbull Cruz. Just to even the odds. Whoa. Daniel Negron, you're gonna be disappointed, man. You're gonna be disappointed. Pitbull Cruz is gonna be made to look like Chihuahua Cruz. I try to tell you. I try to tell you before you made your pick. But you decided to make it anyways. Have at it, my people. Shackle Hands, the Roach. You see, Shackle Hands know what's going on out here. He know who's gonna win tonight. Come on now. Shackle Stradamus Hands know who's gonna win tonight. Come on, my people. But you wanna go against the grain? Have at it. Have at it. Okay, yo, Shackle Hands. Who's gonna win this fight? O'Shaquie Foster versus Cool Boy Steph. Sean Johnson. O'Shaquie Foster by decision. He's a real technical fighter. Not saying Cool Boy isn't. He's not fighting Brandon Figueroa. Yeah, he definitely not fighting Figueroa. This is a good fight, man. This is a real good one. Real good fight. Shackle Hands. You see Open Tire get the W2? Nah, man. I didn't know it was going to be early in the morning. I missed it. Missed it. But I've been told that Jai Opataya won in brutal fashion, opponent unconscious and everything. Side, O'Shaquie been inactive, but I still got O'Shaquie. Side, Jai put the guy to sleep brutally. That's what I heard. Man, I'm gonna have to, after the show, I'm gonna watch that replay. I'm gonna definitely watch that replay and see how. I'm imagining, was it the right hand? The big boom. Big right hand. Underrated Will. Salute, my brother. Yes, don't be scared to me. By the way, what's going on with Johnny Beck? He's gonna fight. Who is he gonna fight? Johnny. I mean, not Johnny Beck. Who's Lara gonna fight? Or Giant Southpaw? Was it? I'm saying, was it? How did he knock him out? Was it the right hook or the boom, or the straight left, or was it just a barrage of punches on his way down? Golly, Jai Opataya, man, he a special fighter. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him, my peoples. By the way, salute to everybody tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Enjoy your breakfast, my peoples. I'm about to have mine in a couple of minutes. Eat a little shot. So for those of you just waking up, going about your morning, enjoy your breakfast, my peoples. And happy Saturday. Looking forward to... Oh, I haven't told you guys. I'm looking forward to tonight. I will be calling these fights. Y'all know how it is. Fight night with Jay Smith. So, I'm going to be calling these fights. I'm going to be giving you that commentary. That Jay Stradamus, Jay Smith commentary. In this fight, I already envision myself. Lamar Roach catches Pitbull with a left to the mouthpiece, a right to the nosepiece, a left hook to the melon. Pitbull cruises wobbly, but he fights back, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting brutal. It's going to be a good fight. This is going to be a good fight, my peoples. I'm going to be giving you that commentary, so tune in for Fight Night with Jay Smith. Esta vaina va a estar encendida. My peoples, don't be scared to make your predictions, man. Don't be scared. I know a lot of people scared. A lot of people don't want to say how you feel about it because you think your guy's going to get loose. Sean Johnson, damn. I have to work tonight, champ. Would love to see you live on the fights. Hopefully on another occasion you have the opportunity. Trust me, bro. I goes in on that commentary. Underrated Will. I got Cruz, man. You about to take a L. If I'm telling you that Lamar Roach is going to beat him, why would you do it to yourself, Underrated Will? At this point, come on now. At this point, you still not... Jay Stradamus is telling you, and you're still going to do it to yourself. On lace kicks. Devastating blows, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go down. It's really going to go down. But if you want to, take an L, go ahead. Go with Pitbull, but don't put money on him. Please, listen. If you picking Pitbull, all right, cool. But please don't put money on him. I don't want to hear you tell me tomorrow that you put your money on him after I try to tell you. Don't do it to yourself. Sean Johnson, take the over 8.5 rounds if you betting Fulton Foster. Yeah, that's for sure going over. That's for sure going over. Because, they both technical fighters. Underrated Will, I'm not. Okay, good. Because then you could have just flushed it in the toilet and it would have been the same thing. It would have been no different. My people, there's something that I need to address with y'all this Saturday morning. There's something that I need to address with y'all. The whole situation with Terrence Crawford and the WBC. We need to address it, my people. So you may have noticed that some fans are siding with Crawford and saying, yeah, stand on your own, don't allow them to rob you, and so on and so forth, right? And then there's fans that are saying, no, you gotta pay, blah, 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 the WBC gave you an opportunity, blah, 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 right? Now, I've been following boxing for a long time, over 30 years. within the over 30 years that I've been following boxing, I've never encountered a time where boxing fans are siding with the sanctioning body over a fighter. Ever. Listen, Miguel Cotto, Miguel Cotto actually vacated his belt because he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fees. Nobody sided with the sanctioning body. People went with Cotto. Riddick Bowe vacated because he didn't want to pay the stiff-ass fee. Nobody sided with the sanctioning body. They went with Bowe. So why now this boxing fans siding with the sanctioning body over the guy that's putting his life on the line that they watch on TV? You like Mauricio Sulaiman more than you like Bud? Or like, I know you hate him that much that it makes you like Mauricio Sulaiman. Like, people who have called the WBC corrupt for years now fell in love with them. It's like, no, it's just like people who hated Canelo became Canelo fans when he was gonna fight Crawford. It's like people who hate Crawford will side with anything and anyone opposing him. That's crazy. When have we seen this in the history that people side with the sanctioning body? The sanctioning body is entertaining you. Do you watch the sanctioning body on TV? Do you tune in? Let me see what the sanctioning body is up to. Or do you tune in for the fights? You watch every Crawford fight, right? And even though you hate him, but you watch his every fight, right? You don't miss a single one of Crawford fights. Now, do you watch the WBC? Do you follow the WBC? How do they entertain you? Explain that to me. How does the WBC entertain you? If you're fighting for the WBC, they need their money. How do they entertain you exactly? I know you watch the fights. Why would you side with the sanctioning body? Because I tell you what, I understand Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya siding with the WBC. They're businessmen. Why would you side with the opposition? That doesn't even make no sense. So they should side with the folks who rank their fighters and make them champions. Like, that's business. But as a fan, you siding with the sanctioning body, that is straight up goofballery. Goofballery. You watch videos of Mauricio Sulaiman, you watch him, you enjoy him, or do you watch Terence Crawford and you enjoy his fights? Come on, you can't hate a fighter that much. Come on now. Shaku hands. Mauricio goofiest of the oofiest. Woo! Clown show. And by the way, my peoples, on Monday's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest, the main topic of conversation is going to be none other than Mr. Mauricio Sulaiman. That's what we're going to be talking about. Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about Mauricio Sulaiman. See what he's talking about. See what's going on with him. What's the real deal? Shaku hands. You see how the belt was on the line, and because Cool missed weight, now they're entering belt for grab. Only WBC nonsense. Come on, man. Side, I don't get the fans siding with the WBC, bro. It's about the hate for Terence Crawford. It's like, ooh, now we got another excuse that we could hate on him. Pay your fees. You gotta pay like everybody else. Like, God, man, that's crazy. You can't hate somebody that much, man. That's crazy. Marie, fans who side with the WBC, I swear, it's only because they hate Bud so much. That's so crazy. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. You siding with the sanctioning body when you never have in your life? That's crazy. That's insane, bro. Never. We never seen fans do that. Fans only started siding with the sanctioning body when Terrence Crawford started whooping y'all heroes' asses. Let's be real. Let's just be honest. Terrence Crawford start whooping your hero ass. That's it. Now you gotta side with the sanctioning bodies all of a sudden. And we ain't never seen you do that before. That's rather unusual, I would say. Daniel on the ground, thanks, Shaku Hands. Underrated Will. I just think when Crawford come from the bottom and he did so much as a fighter, I can't see the hate from WBC. I can't unsee the bullshit. But Crawford was screaming, I'ma take his belts. But everyone knew it was for a payday. But 300K is crazy. I would, but like, here's the funny thing about it. Here's the funny thing about it. Mauricio Sulaiman said that 275,000 out of that was gonna go to the fighters fund. Some chick did a research. Yo, in the last 10 years, they've donated a total of like $2 million in the last 10 years to that fund. So how is it that now you're saying that the overwhelming majority of this money goes to that fund when you never done that? You never gave most of the money to that fund. You always give a little ass bit of money and keep most of it. Oh, but out of Terrence Crawford's 300K, you want to give it to most of the people, to the fighters. I want to punch you in the mouth. Mauricio Sulaiman, I want to punch you in the mouthpiece. Sean Johnson, champ, what do you think about Pat McCormack versus Corn Walker's? Corn Walker gets hit too much. Now, look, I'm going to be honest. Both of those fighters are guys who I've seen like highlights. So it's hard for me to make a prediction with somebody that I'm not really following like that. Because I could easily fall off on that one. I could easily go wrong. Oh, I've seen it. I haven't seen enough to make an educated prediction. Tay John, Jay, what up? Yo, Tay, what's the deal, my brother? Salute. Shaku Hands. Yes, he's making it up as he goes along, just like he always does. Clown stuff. Dude, and the funny thing is, that's so y'all could see that I don't just talk to you guys to just say shit. I know what I'm talking about. Remember the first day when he said all that shit about apologizing and Crawford should apologize, he wasn't grateful? And you guys remember that I told you, yo, he needs somebody to sit him down and tell him what he can and can't say in front of a camera, because he made himself look like a goofball. I told you guys this. The very next day, the WBC then did another thing where they was talking positive about Crawford, and it wasn't even him talking, it was a woman. And the woman was like, the WBC is inclusive of all fighters, and we wish him the greatest going forward. We want him to do good. We, said mad positive stuff about Terrence Crawford. While Mauricio Sulaiman stood there with that face that I wanted to punch him in the mouth. And right after that, Mauricio Sulaiman took the microphone, was like, yes, we wish him the best. We're all inclusive. And we're going to send him this gift right here with our signatures. Like, why would you send Crawford a picture of himself with a big-ass head, a cartoon picture with a big-ass head with your signature? You just said he can't. You won't even let him fight ranked fighters from the WBC, and you're gonna send him your signature. Like, what this do on? It's like when somebody feel like they're untouchable and they could do whatever they want, and that's how they move. That's Mauricio right there. I want to punch him in the mouth. Figuratively speaking, my peoples, say no to violence. Inside my head, I told you I punched him in his mouth like 50 times already. This weekend alone. Tay John, big fight tonight. Who you got? Listen, I try to tell everybody. They didn't want to listen. Lamar Roach is going to beat Pitbull Cruz. Deal with it. Deal with it, my peoples. Deal with it. But again, Mauricio Sulaiman, we're going to be talking about him on Goofiest of the Oofiest. That's this Monday's episode, my peoples. 6 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Box Center 2.0. You see right there in the link. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. And remember, my peoples, Goofiest of the Oofiest, the hotline will go live. You guys will be able to call in and say what you think about Mauricio Sulaiman. Is he the goofiest of the oofiest, or do you agree with his decision to strip Terrence Crawford? We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Should Terrence Crawford have been stripped? Do you guys believe he should have been stripped? Y'all let me know your opinion. Let me ask you a question. How much time did David Benavidez spend as Canelo's #1 challenger, and the WBC never mandated the fight and never stripped Canelo? What happened with that? They didn't have to follow the rules? Shakuhan says he should not have been stripped. 2 years. So you mean to tell me that David Benavidez was Canelo's #1 challenger, but the WBC never mandated the fight and they never stripped Canelo in 2 years? Interesting. So there's no rules? You don't have to, you're mandatory, you don't have to fight? What's the point of being a Canelo mandatory if he don't have to fight you then? Surge. Pitbull overwhelming. Ooh, ferociousness and volume will be too much for Lamar Roach. Nah, bro, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be disappointed. We had Tank Davis knocking out Lamar Roach. Don't you remember that? We had Lamar Roach getting knocked out by Tank Davis. Commander Charles, WBC organization is dirty. They should be investigated. Of course they need to be investigated, man. The people's crazy the way they move. They moving too crazy. They moving way too crazy. Nelson Tucker, they was same thing with Tank. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Tank Davis was gonna knock him out. Tank Davis was gonna do him in. Well, you saw that. People think that Lamar Roach was like a one-hit wonder with Tank Davis. You're gonna find out. He a special fighter. He gonna cook Pitbull. Daniel Negron. It's up to the boxers if they want to pay the sanctioning fee. Of course, it's up to the boxer, but Terrence Crawford is being vilified. Other fighters have done the same thing. Miguel Cotto did it. Riddick Bowe did it. And other Alexander Usyk. did it recently. Fighters have done it. But they made Terrence Crawford into the villain. Come on now. Shackle hands, but you know Nello was in that pocket, greasing palms and giving handouts. The Leaks, salute my brother. Bam! The Leaks is in the building. Listen, man. The way that these people move, you have to see that they just couldn't wait to get that green belt back to Canelo. That's all this is about. It's all about getting the title to our guy. No matter how we got to do it. We want Canelo to be our champion. Because, again, you're saying, no, it's about the rules and we're following the rules. How the hell you come up with this number? You ain't got no rule that say we got to charge you $300,000. You decided you wanted $300,000. What are we talking about? You decided you wanted $300,000. There ain't no $300,000 rule. What are you talking about? Boxing Junkie, salute my brother. So, because you didn't get the amount, you decided, okay, you said, we're going to strip you. You're the bad guy. But he does. This whole situation played out the way that it did because Mauricio decided to go out and say that Crawford needed to apologize to him. What you mean needed to apologize to you? What are you talking about? It's optional. He didn't break any rule. Yo, that's like when a basketball player is in a team and he goes on free agency and he decides not to re-sign with the team and he leaves. He can do that. That's what free agency means. A fighter don't gotta pay your ass sanctioning fees. He won your title, decided to vacate. He leaving. He don't gotta pay you. You're a goofball. That's why they had to do. That's why they had to do another goofball show the second day just to kiss ass of Terrence Crawford and try not to look bad. Like, yeah, we wish him the best and all of this stuff. And I gotta tell you, I know I'm not the only one who watched that video and wanted to punch Mauricio Sulaiman in the mouth. But I already told you guys, I say no to violence. I mean, like, inside my head, I punched him in the mouth. Michael, you know about boxing? Tune in, you decide. Now, my peoples, for tonight's fights, I gotta say, Cool Boy moving up in weight and not making weight is crazy. Bro, how you not make weight by 2 pounds? So the magic question is, did he not make weight because he couldn't make weight? Or was this done strategically? Because remember, Ryan Garcia missing weight by 3 pounds, which was significant. They let the cat out the bag afterwards. They said, nah, we did that on purpose. And I talked with Floyd, and Floyd told me, be over by 3 pounds, something like that. So, is Stephen Fulton in there with them 2 extra pounds? Deliberately, was that part of the game plan? Boxing Junkie, Foster or Fulton? I'm not making this prediction, bro. This prediction is going to be made on Box Center 2.0 later on today. There's the link right there, my brother. I think you may have, but if you're not, you better be subscribed to Box Center 2.0. I will go live, make this prediction and a few others. This prediction will not be made on, but you can make it. Let me know what you think. Underrated Will got Foster winning this fight. Age 17, Mauricio Sulaiman. It's endorsed by goofballery.com. Uh-huh. Mauricio Sulaiman, we're going to be talking about him on Monday. And I know some of you guys are going to be siding with him. And some of you will be cooking him. We're going to talk about it. Commander Charles, agent speaks facts. He never lies, bro. Never lies, baby. Goofballery promotions. That's what you get from Mauricio Sulaiman. And you know he made a mistake when he came out saying all of that goofy shit about how Terrence Crawford didn't even apologize to him. And you know that he messed up when the next day or a couple of days after, they're like, nah, you know, we wish Terrence Crawford the best going forward. And, you know, we want all the fighters to do good. I want to punch you in the mouth. On lace kicks. Mouth of the goof troops. Telling you, you're a goofball. Marie, Brother J. Smith, which time is it out there in PR? I'm from the Netherlands. It's 14:50 here. So till tonight begins boxing here. Hold on, let me ask you a question. In the Netherlands right now, you guys have normal day and night, right? By the way, I'm in DR, Dominican Republic. Right now, 9:50 in the morning. Alexander, age 17. Yes, sir. Y'all better subscribe to Box Center 2.0 for the exclusive predictions and the goofiest of the oofiest every Monday, where you can call in and give your opinion and talk your shh. Bro, listen. It's funny because the first episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest, a lot of people didn't call in thinking, damn, Jay's gonna cook me. Well, we're gonna be cooking Mauricio Sulaiman. So I think more people are gonna call in than just one. Boxing junkie. I fought winning. But after the win, Shambu, I hope Foster wins. It's very unprofessional of fighter not making weight, especially if they moving up. Shaking my head. The least, it's a dirty game, but you gotta pay to play. Shit. Age 17, I would have called in, but I missed it on accident. Marie, sorry, I'm in DR. It's same as American from the Netherlands. It's 6-7 hours for. Ah, okay, got you. Listen, remember what I told you. Remember what I told you. We're gonna get an action-packed night of boxing, because all of these fights are gonna be super competitive. I'm sad that Frank the Ghost Martin is not gonna be on the main card. He's on the prelims. But this shows you, or you know, kind of reminds you that boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. Look at, you know, the performance that Frank Martin has put together. Took a loss to Tank Davis, and he's on the prelims. That happens to some fighters. So he's got, you know, he has to prove himself again and go up again to get an opportunity to get a title shot. You see guys lose a title shot. Ryan Garcia lost and he's getting another title shot. But the level of popularity between Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin, you know, is very different. Of course. Now, let's move on to this fight real quick. a lot of people are having a tough time with predicting this one right here. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This fight right here, this prediction right here, yo, Jay Stradamus could take his first L. Jay Stradamus could take his first L, my peoples, with this one. That's why I'm making it on Box Center 2.0. This is a tough prediction to make. This is one of those. This is one of those. And you can see that with Cool Boy, showing up 2 pounds overweight, that kind of throws a loop in all of this. Because you have to take that into consideration now. Shaku Hands giving Rod another shot and putting Ghost on the prelims. That's crazy, right? But there goes the difference in popularity being a factor. Age of 17. The Dutch got some fire kickboxing. Shaku Hands. Boxing Junkie. Now that I see that Foster out in the work in the gym, I'm leaning towards him now. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight, and it's going to be super competitive. And I think this fight can go the distance. But still, filled with fireworks. Tejan, Cool Boy Steph, look like he ain't trained hard, Jay. You think so? Because I brought that up earlier. Not that specifically, but I wondered, was the 2 pounds something that they did strategically, showed up overweight on purpose, or he just didn't get in shape right and they couldn't make weight? So it's interesting that you bring that up, because if he just out of shape and couldn't make weight because of that, he getting beat up. He getting beat up, bro. If he didn't make weight because he could not, getting beat up. Shaku Hands, that's true, probably, but it's WBC doing this, man. The WBC, fuck the WBC. Simple as that. Boxing Junkie. Damn, they have that greedy belt on the line. They little greedy ass belt. They got that. They got the Mauricio belt. I'm gonna start calling it the Mauricio belt. The leaks, but got everybody hating WBC now. Mauricio done messed up. He damaged the brand. Commander Charles, exactly, after WBC. With what you did to Terrence Crawford, you damaged your brand. You damaged the WBC. You see, I used to respect your belt. Now I see that shit like a little trinket. If I had the WBC belt right now, I would shoot a 3-pointer in a garbage can. Nothing but trash can. Tejan, I'm from Philly, and I think he's gonna get his ass kicked. Yeah, bro, how you gonna do him like that? Damn, Tejan. That's amazing, though. Agent 17, I candy belt. Shaku Hands, you been having me rolling too, B. Coño, loco. Danny Guns, who you got, Roach or Cruz? Lamont Roach is gonna cook Pitbull Cruz, bro. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. You could go against me, but you're gonna take a L. I'm trying to help you out, my G. Marie, Mauricio needs to send that fund money to the Netherlands to make boxing great again out here. Yo, send some of that paper. I already told y'all, man. Just looking at the picture. Looking at the picture alone. I'm going to show y'all real quick. The leagues. Bush should have just paid him and not vacated and not said anything. Listen, bro. When Mauricio Sulaiman said that Terence Crawford didn't even apologize to him, I felt like punching him in the mouth. I felt like punching him in the mouth. What you mean he gotta apologize to you? For real? Diablo loco. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only person that felt like punching him in the mouth. He had that same smirk in his face, that same face, punchable in the mouth. And that's why on Monday's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest, we're going to have to address it. You acting crazy, you acting goofy as hell. Now, can somebody explain to me? One of you guys might know, because I don't know. Jay Stradamus don't know. How come Benavidez was Canelo Alvarez's #1 challenger for such a long time, and the WBC never mandated the fight and never stripped Canelo? Y'all gotta help me understand, because I just don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused, my peoples. Marie, why would Bud still pay them? Why he won't defend the belt? And you want 300,000, my peoples. Marie, that's what I'm trying to explain to people. If you know that he's gonna fight at 160, that he's gonna leave the division, why would you ask him for 300K? So they hold your belt and be a champion for what, 5-6 months? 300K? The other sanctioning bodies, they took free money. He gave them a certain amount of money that they said, this free money, he's not even gonna defend. He's gonna be out of here soon. We'll take that, no doubt. But you want Canelo to have that belt. You thought Canelo was going to knock Crawford out. You thought Canelo was too small. And then, you thought Crawford was too little. And you had to watch him beat Canelo up, and you don't like it. So this is what you're doing. Commander Charles, that's easy. WB, Canelo, his own. He owns them. The least, Canelo, but would have never happened. The least, that's the problem. The problem when you side with the sanctioning bodies is that you start feeling like acting like the sanctioning bodies and the belts are bigger than the fighters. Who entertains you? The leagues. Who do you watch on TV? You don't watch Mauricio Sulaiman, brother. I'm pretty sure you don't watch a Mauricio Sulaiman reality show or a WBC reality show. You watch Terence Crawford, though, right? You don't remember when's the last time you missed a Terence Crawford fight. You watch his fight with Canelo. You watch his fight versus Arrow. You watch all of his fights. Everything that's going on with him, you watch it. So whether you like him or not, you're a fan of Terence Crawford, or you could be a hater of Terence Crawford, but you watch him. You don't watch the WBC, bro. You don't follow boxing to watch the WBC or to watch Mauricio Sulaiman. Who are you a fan of? Are you a fan of Mauricio Sulaiman in the WBC, or are you a fan of the boxers? So you can't have such a hate for Terence Crawford that you side with the sanctioning body, bro. Like, that's literally what you're doing. Look how far your hate goes for Terence Crawford. You've already said that he was gonna get knocked out by Arrow. And then you said that no, it's no good because of the accident. Then he was gonna get knocked out by Canelo. Oh, he beat Canelo too. He didn't really beat nobody. Porter was washed. He don't make money like that. He's looking for a payday. You've said every negative thing that you could possibly say about Crawford. So of course you're gonna side with the sanctioning body. Your opinion is not based on an honest assessment of the situation. It's based on you actually trying to figure out a negative angle for Terrence Crawford, because that's what you've done for years at this point, my brother. In your whole life, you've never sided with a sanctioning body. Soon as Crawford started beating up your heroes, here you are saying, no, the sanctioning body's right. They helped them out. That's a horrible way to see it. Because as boxing fans, we want to see the best fights. We want to see the biggest fights. When did we start giving this credit to the sanctioning body for these fights? It's always been about the promoters and the promoters making it happen. Now you want to give it to the sanctioning body? Oh, the sanctioning body made it possible. When have you ever done that? You've never done that in your whole life. You should not be doing it now. That's what shows you that you have a new level of hate for Terrence Crawford. When you start siding with the sanctioning body over the fighter, that shows you that more than a boxing fan, you're a hater of Terrence Crawford in this argument. In this conversation, you're not a boxing fan. You're a Terrence Crawford hater because you're siding and looking for angles to go with the sanctioning body. The leaks. I mean, we're talking about it now. Of course, we're talking about it, but you're siding with the sanctioning body. You're taking a stance as if you're involved in the business. It's like, nah, they got to pay us. They got to pay us. We got to get our money. But wait a minute. The sanctioning body is not what you watch on TV. The sanctioning body, they're not the ones putting their life on the line. Why would you side with them? You've never sat there and watched Mauricio Sulaiman fight. He never fought in his life. Why would you be siding with their interests? Like I said, as soon as Terrence Crawford beat up the guys that you wanted to win, you go against them. Mauricio Sulaiman feels about Terrence Crawford the same way that you do, because he also thought that Canelo Alvarez was going to knock him out. He also thought Canelo was going to bring the belts back home. Mauricio Sulaiman thought, just like you and just like a lot of people, that este que estaba conectado. Okay. Mauricio Sulaiman thought that Canelo was going to bring it home and keep the title home. Keep the title home with us. The home team. You know, Canelo Mexican, the WBC is Mexican, based out of Mexico. They're like, yeah, bring it home, my G. They was not expecting the leagues, just like you. They was not expecting Crawford to win this fight. They was not expecting it. They was not expecting it. You said Bush should have vacated, but you're still siding with the WBC. It's not about vacating. He should have still been the champion. But again, the leaks, it shows you your dislike of Terrence Crawford when you're siding with the sanctioning body. You don't follow boxing because of the sanctioning bodies. You don't watch the sanctioning bodies. The sanctioning bodies do not entertain you in any way, shape, or form. So why would you side with them over the guy that you watch put his life on the line and entertains you? The person that entertains you, you're going against him, bro. Listen to yourself. You have to see what you're doing. Gay Rivera, dímelo, mi hermano. Salute, my brother. Bam. I think this situation shows the level of hate that people have for Terrence Crawford. And that hate just keeps getting worse and worse. Like when he beats a guy that people thought was gonna beat him, when this guy's gonna knock him out, and he does that. This is what happens. We get to see a new level of hate on Terrence Crawford because the league, in your whole life, I promise you, you can't find a receipt that you have ever made an argument in favor of a sanctioning body over a fighter. You've never made that argument, bro. Nobody's ever made it. Now all of a sudden, people need the sanctioning body to make their money. Now you need the sanctioning body to get their fees. Come on, bro. Gabriel Barra, yeah, that's crazy. What the sanctioning bodies are doing. But that's what I'm talking about. When exactly the fans start saying this stuff? Nah, the sanctioning body's right because you gotta pay them. They gotta make their money. You're the one that's wrong. When exactly the fans started saying this? Because they didn't say it back when Miguel Cotto vacated the WBC because he didn't want to pay that. Riddick Bowe vacated the WBC, he didn't want to pay that. They didn't say it. Alexander Usyk, I'm not sure which one he vacated, but nobody had a problem with it. Bivol vacated, nobody had a problem with it. Now all of a sudden, Terrence Crawford is crazy. What is he doing? And we're siding with the sanctioning body, and it's the same haters. You think it's a coincidence? The people that said Errol was gonna knock Crawford out, Canelo was gonna knock him out, Porter's washed up. He only beat Errol because of the car accident. Crawford ain't really beat nobody. He ain't really done nothing. He ain't make money like that. The people that made all of those arguments, they're the ones that are now siding with the WBC. You should already expect it. If somebody been hating on Crawford for the last 10 years, who you think they're going to side with? It's not really about what's happening and making an honest assessment. It's about you hate Terrence Crawford, and no matter what, you got to formulate an argument against Terrence Crawford. Victor J, look, I haven't read anything Victor J said. I'm going to read it now. But I can already tell you, Victor J, since the first time he ever stepped on Boxing for Breakfast, was hating on Terrence Crawford. So I expect him to side with the WBC. Let me see what Victor J got to say. Victor J, why didn't Bud do this years ago instead of waiting till he made all of the money and doesn't need boxing anymore? You see, there you have it. Victor J had to come through with the hate. Why didn't he? Victor J, I don't know. Maybe you want to tell me why Crawford does what he does. You can tell me, I don't know. I predict fights. I don't know why people make decisions. The leaks, it happened many times. Listen, y'all hate for Terrence Crawford. Trust me, Reach. Now we gotta admit that Terrence Crawford is without a doubt the most hated fighter in boxing. That's it. When fans say they're gonna make an argument on behalf of the sanctioning body, it's a new level of hate. That's it. There's nothing else that I could think of that's more hate than that. Skip. Sup, brother? You Lamont by decision? Yup, I got Lamont Roach beating Pitbull Cruz by decision. Convincingly, too. The league, it's not a big deal, to be honest. Trust me, it is. If you've hated on Crawford your whole career, it's predictable that this is going to be what you're going to say, and you're saying it. So it is. You guys help spread a horrible narrative just because you don't like a fighter. That's crazy. The leaks, Mayweather would do this all the time. Of course he would do this all the time. The difference is that when Mayweather did it, you never sided with the sanctioning body. You never said, well, Terrence Crawford had to pay. Terrence Crawford got to pay. He's wrong. You never did that. You never did that. Because you didn't have that level of hate for Floyd. Skip, fought by decision. I haven't made that prediction. Listen, O'Shaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton, I'm going to be making that prediction on Box Center 2.0. So check it out right there on the link. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. And by the way, on Monday's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest, we're going to be talking about Mauricio Sulaiman. And you guys are going to be able to call in. The hotline is going to be open and it's going to be hot. You're going to be able to give your opinion. So the leaks, you can call in and go ahead, defend Sulaiman and make your argument, as the WBC attorney that needs to defend their interest, I guess. Victor J, I'm disappointed in Cool Boy. Look, I asked this question before. Did this happen because Cool Boy purposely showed up 2 pounds overweight to have that advantage? Or is he just not in good shape? He just couldn't make weight. Somebody made a comment earlier saying that Cool Boy didn't look like he was in good shape. If he just isn't in good shape and that's why he didn't make weight, he's going to get cooked. He's going to get cooked. Simple as that. Gonna get cooked. If he's in great shape, it's gonna be a super competitive fight. And we're gonna see fireworks early on. Ramirez J. Smith, you ducking the smoke. You stay talking about the hotline and still nada. Well, Ramirez, you must have missed Monday's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Monday's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest. The hotline was open. You didn't show up. Goofiest of the Oofiest is on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Show up on Monday. And I don't even know how you're saying that. The episode is up. Go on Goofiest. Go on Box Center 2.0. The first live is already up. What the hell are you talking about? Are you subscribed? Skipper. He tried to come in a little stronger. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case. Because 2 pounds, that could give him a bit of an edge. Shaku hands. I am ready with my dukes up. Ooh, for Goofiest of the Oofiest, Mr. Mauricio, the clown show. Age is 17. Yo, them notifications, my peoples, no doubt. Get a notification once Jason Diamonds go live tonight. And y'all know it. Tonight, your boy Jay Smith will definitely doing Fight Night with Jay Smith. I'm going to be giving y'all the commentary. And y'all know how I do it. The left hook to the mouthpiece. The right hand to the wig piece. The right uppercut to the nose piece. Oh, the humanity. We getting down, my peoples. Hold on. JJ's in their house. Jay Smith, this is nothing new. Boxers have been doing this before everyone. Please, let's go over this and talk about tonight's fights. Victor J, I'm disappointed. Okay, hold on. Lost myself over here. Shaku hands. I'm ready with the dukes up. The leaks. I can't with these messages. I'm typing putting up my tree at the same time. I need to pull up on the hotline. I'm saying, yo, we're going to be talking about Mauricio Sulaiman. We're going to be talking about... Look, everybody doesn't have the same opinion. Some people agree with him, some people don't. You're going to call in, and we're going to be giving messages directly to Mauricio Sulaiman. Directly. You're going to talk like you're talking to Mauricio. You're going to call the hotline, say what you got to say to Mauricio. That's all I'm saying. Ooh, ages 17 in the building, represent with the VIP Plus subscription, my peoples. Yo, listen. Exclusive members of Box Center with Jay Smith get exclusive content. Agent 17 been there from the beginning. Yo, salute Agent 17 and salute to all the members of Box Center. Yo, you already know what it is, my G. Braska Raw, greeting from the mean streets of North Omaha. Looking forward to some action, some smoke tonight. And you know I'm going to be calling it. You know I'm going to be calling the smoke, my G. So it's about to go down. Did you make your predictions, by the way? Braska Raw. Don't be scared. And I'm going to say this. Frank the Ghost Martin, I said this before, my peoples. He has the potential to become a world champion. He has the skills, tools, resources. We live, in a social media era of boxing where you take a loss and you done, you cook, you ain't all that. It's not about that. That's not real life. Why? Take a look at Pitbull Cruz. He became a world champion after losing to Tank Davis. Take a look at who else Tank beat that also became a world champion? I'm forgetting right now. Oh, Mario Barrios became a world champion after losing to Tank Davis. So taking an L doesn't mean that you're not going to be a world champion. Frank Martin has those skills. He's going to be in the prelims tonight. I expect him to win this fight. And let's see what's next for Frank Martin after that. Braska Raw still on the fence. This is tough. We're going to get... We're going to get a lot of action tonight. Because think about this. Take this into consideration. This fight right here, Cool Boy and Oshaki, both of them, they're technical fighters. They have the skills to box you, but they can bang. Both of them can bang. I see this fight turning into a fight early. It's going to be technical, because they both got really good footwork. They both give angles. It's going to be technical. But once they start landing big shots on each other, you're going to see a fight break out. Tajon, I don't think Frank's skills are that advanced, Jay. I believe it. I believe it. I believe in Frank Martin, bro. Think about this. Look at his fight with Tank Davis up until he got hurt. You're going to tell me that throughout those rounds, there wasn't moments where he was outboxing Tank Davis? He really... If you look at Frank the Ghost Martin, if he could have maintained that distance, and that fight goes 12 rounds, he had a chance of winning that fight. Frank Martin lost the fight via a knockout, but he wasn't being outboxed. And the scorecards were close. So I say my argument is, if you're in a competitive fight with Tank Davis up until he knock you out, you advance, bro. If he wasn't that advanced, Tank would have made easy work of him. JJ's in us. Exactly, Jay Smith. When I was a younger man, if someone had 2 or 4 losses, they were a top contender still. And fans still backed up that fighter. And that's still the case in the UK. That's still the case. There's a bunch of UK fighters that got multiple losses and still get mad love from the fans. Agent 17, Floyd and social media changed the game. Now, all people care about is if you lost or not. That's it. That's it. If you're undefeated, And a star, super popular. As soon as you take a L, nah, you're washed up, or you're a hype job, or you wasn't really, you got exposed. Anybody could really take a L. People think everybody's gonna be Floyd. Marie J. Smith, which time you gonna go live tonight? I'll be live between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time, right around there. Cause I don't want to go live too early. I'm not gonna be live for the prelims, so I'm gonna go live when the main card starts. As soon as that main card kicks off, I'm gonna be live. I'm gonna be calling all of these fights. Age of 17, maybe the first 2 rounds, but not consistent round after round for multiple rounds. Tejan, look, man, I want to see how this fight is gonna play out because they've been going back and forth. There's been a lot of trash talking between these guys. And I remember at one point, Oshaki told him, I'm going to knock you out. And Fulton was like, what? Man, beat your ass. So they've gone back and forth in person. They've gone back and forth on social media. Now they're going to go at it in real life. There's going to be a good fight right here. I'm looking forward to it. Super looking forward to it. But I got to say, my peoples, this is right here the main event. I mean, we're not even talking about the Lara fight, man. We haven't even spoke about the Lara fight. Because we don't even know the guy that he's fighting. Lara's still going to fight tonight, right? That other dude. If I'm not mistaken, I could Google that shit. Is Lara still going to fight that other dude, right? Is that tonight? My people, Johnny Beck let us down, man. We have been praising Johnny Beck, how he was going to do all this and do all that, and he was going to fight Terrence Crawford. Damn, he fumbled the bag big time. My people's Johnny Beck fumbled the bag, fumble liar. You had it all but guaranteed that you was going to get a fight with Crawford if you beat Lara. Marie, most if not all the greatest fighters had lost on their records because they didn't pick and choose. Trying to keep that old. They fought the toughest and best from the beginning till end. That's the thing. If you fight the best fighters consistently, eventually you're gonna take a L. It's gonna happen. Look, I'm gonna tell you, that's why it's important for fighters to do tune-ups. Unfortunately. I'm gonna tell you something that may not be what you want to hear, but it is what it is. If you're a fighter, right, and you're at the highest level, you fight a world champion, and you're in a tough fight. Like, you stop him, but you're in a tough fight. It goes 10 rounds, and you took some good punches. Then the next fight, you in another one, and you win, but you took some good ones too. If you stay fighting at that level, every fight you take a few good shots, those add up, and eventually you're going to be in a fight at that level that a punch you've taken before is not going to drop you. Because that accumulative damage that you've absorbed. So that's why fighters that are involved in tough fights, they need an easy fight. They need a fight where they're not going to take a lot of damage to allow their body to be good. That's why I said before, Devin Haney fighting the way he did versus Jose Ramirez was actually very smart. He got criticized. People said that he was scared and all of this other stuff. But it was smart to do that because he got pummeled by Ryan Garcia. You don't get battered in back-to-back fights. Nobody want to be punch drunk. Nobody want to be left confused. JJ said that Lara is 42 years old and still going strong. Man, listen, Lara keep proving me wrong. The last 2 or 3 fights, I was like, nah, he's gonna lose, man. That's it. Father Time gonna catch up. And he keeps winning. Keeps doing it. But again, most of the greatest fighters, that's fact, took losses, multiple losses, the overwhelming majority. So a guy losing a fight doesn't mean that he's done. But there you go. There you have, you know, for this fight, I gave you my prediction. If you want to say Pitbull's going to win, hey, you Pitbull's going to take a L, you're going to take a L. Should have been listening to me, my peoples. You should have been listening to Jay Smith. Yo, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. Y'all know what it is. Marie De Bruyne, I was gonna say Jay Smith. JJ's in there, has Agent 17, Tay Young, my peoples. I hope you guys enjoy this brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Saturday morning. Y'all already know. Ramirez was in the building, hating as usual. Victor J hating on Terrence Crawford as usual. Cy was in the building. Skip. The leaks was sneak hating on Terrence Crawford. Not straight up, but sneak hating. Brascarov. I did some research, G. 250K will get you 10 acres just outside of Omaha. 10 acres. 10 acres, bro, I would call that generational wealth. 10 acres, you share that shit amongst your kids. And allow that shit to gain interest. Like, come on now. That's a lot of money, fam. That's a lot of money, my peoples. Yo, I'm about to check out. Shout out to everybody once again who tuned in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Tonight, Fight Night with Jay Smith will go live for the main card. So if you're watching the fights, you know as soon as the main card is going to start, this live is going to start. We're going to get it popping. You're going to get this exclusive commentary. Yo, salute to the exclusive members. If you're a member of the channel, I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0, my people. You see the link right there, pinned in the comments somewhere in here. Click on that link. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Goofiest of the oofiest on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, my peoples, that hotline is going to be open. We're going to be talking about Mauricio Sulaiman and his decision to strip Terrence Bud Crawford of that WBC title. So you guys, you're going to be able to call in. If you want to take the side of Mauricio, do that. You want to take the side of Bud, do that. But we're going to get it popping on Monday on Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. My peoples, Clifton Dennis, I need some advice, Jay Smith. Look, man, I was about to close out the show right now with Clifton Dennis. Hit me. What advice do you need? You know I don't miss, I don't go wrong. Clifton, Shock or Cool Boy? Oh, so I'm going to tell you. I'm actually making that prediction on Box Center 2.0 later this afternoon. So you're going to have to tune in. JJ says, words of the day. I'm going to give y'all some easy ones on the Saturday morning, my peoples. This is the words of the day for each and every one of you tuning in. Make sure that you take care of you. You heard it before. I said it before. Make sure you take care of you, my peoples. Because if you don't take care of you, you're going to have a hard time taking care of those around you. If you fucked up in the game, you can't help nobody around you. So take care of you first, my peoples. Y'all already know what it is. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. I'll see you guys later, man. Bam. Peace.